Hello, my name is Jon Rognerud with Chaos Map, a digital marketing agency here in Los Angeles. Today, I'm going to talk about how to improve and how to get higher conversions from your ads. And while I'm going to be talking about these in steps here today, we have 10 things we're going to cover. I'm going to give you a free download at the end, basically with everything in one, so you have it where you can print it up and keep it in front of you, and as a strong reminder for all the things that you need to look at and address to improve your advertising. And really, what we talk about right off the bat is always this, right? Message, market, and media, referring to Dan Kennedy's Ultimate Sales Letter book, which you should pick up, by the way, because that's where we're pulling this from. And if you have your message tightly integrated with your market and you're addressing hopes, fears, dreams, issues, etc., well, this is where it all starts. In fact, I'm going to break it down for you, as I said, with number one here. I call it sleeplessness. What are they, awake at night for, right? What are they staring at the ceiling for? Eyes wide open, right? Losing sleep, can't help stop thinking about this thing or these things. What are those? And by the way, the first thing that we do with clients when we go through this is we really just sort of want to brainstorm this. We don't want to be too analytical about this. And so an Excel sheet or a document or a whiteboard, if you're presenting or sharing this in a team setting, just get it out there, dump it out there, because you can formalize this and actually map it out as you sort of collect these and as you improve this to be a much tighter integration with your copy that essentially then you can push out there through ads, through landing pages, etc. And the second thing is, of course, we want to talk about anxiety and fear. So while aligned with the first one, this takes it even deeper, right? So it goes really to the core here. What do they fear the most? What are they afraid of? So this is an essential piece that it basically addresses, all these things are really psychological triggers. They are essentially, human nature hasn't changed much in centuries, right? So all of this is going to speak to really the audience's need, fears, wants, hopes, dreams. All of the things we're covering here, especially the first 6 here, are going to be definitely about the headspace. So think about this as you start drafting these and putting the information down on digital paper. And so here we're getting into annoyance in number 3. What are they angry about? Who are they angry at, right? So this is an important piece here because, again, all of these things really speak to that person at that moment. So it's almost like you're entering the conversation in their mind, in their head at that time. And I'm sure you've heard this before. I bought that product because they spoke to me. It's as if they knew me. Well, all of these things addresses all of that. And more, right? So this bit about being angry, you have a lot of options here to really address this particular topic here. Number 4, annoyances, right? So daily annoyances. What is it that really they're very frustrated about on a daily basis? What are the top 3, 4, 5 things that constantly just bugs them during their day? So this is not necessarily the one where they're staring at the ceiling, eyes wide open, right? This is now just, annoying, frustrating things that are going on every day. So for a business owner that has momentum in their business, for instance, it could simply be that they feel that they're just stuck. They're doing the same thing over and over again. Well, what are those things, right? So you start mapping these things out. And basically, as you go through the first 6, as I mentioned, it's all of these are very much psychological triggers and, in the headspace. But as we start moving towards the end of these steps here, you'll see that it moves into a little bit more tactical and then, of course, competitive and a market analysis, which we're going to get to here in a second. And number 5, trends. What's happening, and will be occurring in terms of these trends in their lives and businesses. This is also very, very important because you can address things that are perhaps a little more exterior, but still in their space. And trends, of course, here you can get a bit factual as well, and you can tie it together with their fears and some of the statistical information that you gather from this. And also, as I said here, will be occurring in their lives, so you can do a little bit of authority play here to get that message out there so you can, sort of future pace with them, if you will. Now, number 6 here, desires. here we are really going emotional, right? Now we're really diving into, what they secretly, ardently desire the most. And so if you can nail these 6 down, of course, that we covered right now, you're going to get a much stronger message together that really speaks to your market. I mean, you could stop right here and be good, right? But hey, we're not done yet. We're going to go to number 7 here is bias, right? Is there a built-in bias by the way they make decisions? This is big, right? This is actually now looking at perhaps not just in the headspace, but what's going on and around and in the environment, and also people and places in their world that has built up a certain bias, right? So you can see how these are connected here, but they're uniquely sort of separatable, if I can use that word. You can separate them out and still connect the dots here. Number 8, language. Is there a special language here that they have going? Well, then you can definitely use that and should use that. And I'm not just talking about, international British English versus American English, etc., right? That's some obvious ones there. But there might be special words and things that they sort of associate with in terms of language specifics that you then can use and really ultimately feel very connected with them on, and that they feel connected to you, right? So it's a two-way street. Here we're getting into, as I mentioned, the market and the competitive nature of any of this research that you will do. So for number 9, market similarity, who else is selling something similar to them, right? And how are they selling? So this is where you can go out there and sign up for newsletters, obviously do your competitive research here. Look at Semrush, of course, tremendous tools. We use it here at the organization ourselves. And really get into understanding the market similarity. But here's where also there's a note, by the way. You don't want to then just ultimately say, well, they do this, so we're going to do the same, right? No copying, no stealing, right? This is where you can model to get the best assets created for you. And number 10, and the final one here, is sales similarity. So similar to what I just mentioned here for the market. Also, who else has tried to sell them something similar, right? And how has that effort failed, which is interesting. We're sort of flipping it there. Instead of how's that been successful, you want to look at that, but actually how it's failed is more interesting because you can break through here. So these 10 are very valuable. I put them together in a worksheet here or a simple snapshot that you can go through these for yourself. But hey, I hope this has been helpful for you. I certainly enjoyed making this for you. And if you want more information, hey, head on over to chaosmap.com. And if you're in Los Angeles, stop by. We'll grab a coffee and we'll do it that way. All right. Take it easy.